and welcome back to my channel. So I'm currently here at Narita Airport. I just got through airport security, and in a few hours I'm going to be flying from Tokyo over to Taipei. I'm going to be doing it with Starlux. Now, I've never flown with Starlux before, but everything I've seen about them looks like they are an airline that's trying to compete for being one of the best airlines out there. They are a newer one, so if you haven't heard about them, they only have been around for a few years. I believe they actually started off like when the pandemic began, so it was kind of a weird time for an airline to begin. But they have a really nice looking business class, which is what I'm going to be flying, so I am super excited about that. Now, Starlux doesn't have its own lounge here at Narita. However, they are connected with Japan Airlines, so what I am going to do is I'm going to go check out the Japan Airlines business class lounge. And the good thing about the lounge is that as soon as you get through airport security, you're going to see the lounge immediately. Right now, I just walked over to my gate like I normally do, just to try to see how far away it is from the lounge. So it's only like I would say 3 to 4 minute walk, which is awesome. But now I'm going to head back over there and see how the Japan Airlines business class lounge here is at Narita. So the business class lounge is pretty much impossible to miss. You'll see it as soon as you walk through airport security. And once inside of the lounge, you'll notice the wood tones and how pretty the entire place is set up. Now, as soon as you get down the escalator, you have the option to either turn left or go straight. And if you decide to go straight, you'll notice that there are many seat options. And when I say many seat options, I mean like a ton of seat options. Look at all of these available seats down here when you walk straight after getting off the escalator. I mean, I was like shocked at how much space is here. There's just so many available chairs, and you also can get beautiful views of the tarmac. In the way back, there is like a quiet area, but the place was so empty, I mean, you could drop a pin and be able to hear it. Also down here is the beer pouring machine that pours you a perfect beer every single time, along with the soda machine, and there's many different hard alcohol and champagne options as well. And if you're in the mood for wine, they also have different wine options you can get, and a coffee machine. I mean, all of this stuff is upstairs also, but because this is such a large section, it's nice that they have this down here as well. And coming back to the escalator, if you decide to go the other direction, you'll notice that there's some lockers along with these stairs, but if you continue to stay down here, there's even more available seats than there was in the other section. I mean, there's just so many available seats down here, it's pretty incredible. I can never even imagine this entire place being full. I know this is a Starlux business class review, but I've never seen such a spacious lounge in my entire life. This place is incredible. Now, when you go up these stairs, it brings you to the dining area. Now, there were more people up here, but there wasn't a ton of people up here. There's a number of options that you get to choose from, and the cooks will prepare it right in front of you. I chose the curry, and oh my goodness, this curry was so good. I mean, I've had Japanese curry before, but it never tasted as good as this. If you come to this lounge, you have to try the Japanese curry. It is absolutely delicious. Okay, so thoughts on this lounge? This is probably the nicest business class lounge that I've ever been in. So first of all, it is huge. There's 2 different floors, so I'm up right the stairs right now in the floor where there's the dining, so I just had some of the curry, which was fantastic. I honestly want to go up and get maybe like another plate or even a third one, but the only thing that stopped me is knowing that I have my business class meal and I want to be able to eat that and give that a review. So because of that, I'm going to hold off with that meal, but that curry was fantastic. You could say that this is kind of like a buffet style, but you're not actually making it yourself. So it shows you the menu options, and then right when you get up to the front, they just like put it all together for you. That's set up in a way that if you're at a different lounge, like a Centurion lounge, where you just see the food, except for the staff is doing it here. So that ends up being really nice. There's a number of options. They also have this sparkling wine here, and they have those machines where it pours the beer perfectly for you. I'm not gonna get that because it's too early in the morning, so I think champagne will work, but yeah, I'm highly impressed by this lounge. I mean, the downstairs part of this lounge is like almost empty, and there's probably like 200 plus seats down there. I'm not even exaggerating. Now, up here, there are some people here when it comes to where the food is, but it's still not packed. It's incredible how much space is here at this lounge. Now, a lot more people do like to try to fly out of Haneda because of the fact that when you are flying out of Haneda, it is a lot closer to the center of Tokyo as compared to Narita. It is a little bit further. but I honestly don't mind. I've been out of Narita a couple times before, and I don't see it as being that long because you can just end up taking the train and it'll just get you right to the airport. So you just immediately hop out and you're already there. It's very, very convenient. But if you are flying out of Narita, either with Starlux or if you happen to be doing it with Japan Airlines or any of the One World partners, you definitely want to try to get to this lounge because this is going to be one of the best business class lounges you're going to go to. But anyways, I have about 45 minutes until it's time to start boarding, so I'm just going to finish this glass of champagne and try to hold off from getting myself one more curry, although I would really like to get it. I already had a pretty big breakfast this morning at the Conrad in Tokyo, so this is definitely going to be a heavy day of eating for me, but I think I'll get through it. I couldn't resist. I got myself another plate of the Japanese curry because I knew if I didn't, I'd be thinking about it and kicking myself in the future. It was that good. After completely stuffing myself with the curry, I made my way over to my gate. And there goes my bird, Starlux's A350-900. There was a delay for our flight, and there was also a couple of crying babies that everyone seemed annoyed by, but eventually, we began to board the plane. I was one of the later business class passengers to board, but the staff was doing a great job when it comes to taking people's jackets and showing them to their seat. And there goes my seat, 2A. First impressions, wow, this thing looks modern and beautiful. I don't think anyone will look at this and think this isn't a luxurious product. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And when it comes to the setup, there's a nice mirror, the Starlux headphones, and also a charger right there. But the big thing you're going to notice immediately is going to be this screen. I mean, this is the clearest screen I've ever seen. As soon as I sat down, the flight attendants immediately gave me a hot towel and a mango drink. Here's our menu for this flight. Now, because it's such a short flight, under 4 hours, when it comes to the dishes, there wasn't a ton of options. However, when it came to drinks, it seemed like there was an endless amount of options. Whether you wanted a signature cocktail, or a mocktail, or different wines, or whiskeys, or beers, it just seemed like they had everything here. Starlux has marketed themselves as being a futuristic airline. So you'll see different themes that seem like they're like Star Wars or Star Trek. And honestly, when you get into this seat, it really does feel like you're on something that is a next level, especially compared to domestic airlines. Although this was a short flight, I still got some slippers. And you don't have to be concerned about space, because the space is good. Farewell, Japan. I'm always sad when I have to leave you, but I'm excited to go explore new lands over in Taipei, Taiwan. Okay, so we've been in the air for about 20 minutes for this roughly 4-hour flight from Tokyo over to Taipei. And my initial thoughts when it comes to Starlux is, wow, this is actually really nice for business class. I mean, just the screen itself. I don't know many other airlines that are going to have a larger screen. I guess ANA's The Room may end up having a larger screen in business class, but it just looks so crisp. The entire layout here, you can tell this is like a newer product. This is the A350 business class. I'm going to have a nice door over here to the side. The staff has been incredibly friendly and professional. I've had at least 2 different people come talk to me and like introduce themselves, tell me how they're going to be able to do the meal service, and just tell me if I need anything, that they're ready to help me out. So they've been really, really kind. I am looking forward to the meal service, although I probably shouldn't have had that second curry because now I'm pretty stuffed. But since the short experience that I've already had on this has been so great, I got to make sure that I down that entire meal. So, but yeah, here into seat A. So there is first class in front of me. I don't know if there are any first class passengers. I didn't see, but so they have like a bigger pod. You can tell that their doors aren't like fully closing, so it doesn't go up to the top. One of the things I really liked about the staff was right before we took off, the flight attendant, he asked me like when I would want my food. He wanted to know if I wanted like immediately or if I wanted to wait a little bit. And honestly, since I ate all that curry, I was like, let me just hold off for a second. And he was like, yeah, no problem. He's like, as long as you tell me like an hour and 15 minutes before we land, then I can have it, but I'll just put it on the side for you. And like I didn't request that to begin. He just asked me if I wanted to wait. And I mean, originally I was like, okay, I'll just eat it right away when everyone else does. But the fact that I get to like choose a different time for when I want my meal is a really nice feature for a business class. I just love the color and layout of the entire setup. They even have like this little lamp over here on the side, although it's daytime, but there's like a nice lamp right next to the seat that looks really nice on a plane. The storage, they have the side, which I always love, where I can just look inside of it. They do have some other ones where you can put things in. There's like one down there where I have my headphones in, but I always like it like that because then I can just make sure I don't forget things which I've done previously on planes. And there's quite a few options when it comes to movies. So I've seen like 4 or 5 different films that I know I want to watch that are English films. And then there's way more that I've already seen before, but I would be happy to rewatch it. So when it comes to the entertainment system, not only is it just really pretty to look at, but they also have quite a few options, which is nice. I just love the way the Asian carriers display their food. You feel like you're in a restaurant, and it really does come off as you are getting a premium product. It's way better than what you're ever going to see from any domestic airlines. While this wasn't my favorite dish, it wasn't bad. Now, this dessert was excellent. That fresh fruit tasted really fresh. And that cake right there was so soft, it tasted absolutely great. Okay, so I decided to get the meal service pretty much at the exact same time everyone else did because I started smelling it and I was like, it actually smells pretty good, so I just went with it. I'll say that I thought it was good. It didn't blow me away in any way. The dessert was really good, so I definitely liked that. But the main dish, it looked really fancy, but as a whole, I would just say it was fine. This is only like a 4-hour flight, so there wasn't that many options, but I would say for what I was able to get, it was a good dish. So we're about halfway through the flight. It's about 2 hours left before we land in Taipei. I'm watching a film right now, and as I'm watching it, the screen is gorgeous. It just looks so nice how big it is, but I've noticed that there's like my reflection I can see pretty well in the screen. So it's almost like I'm looking into a mirror as I'm watching the film. The screen itself is really nice, and it's definitely a larger screen, but I don't know how they could resolve this, but when I'm looking at it, I feel like I'm constantly looking at myself while also watching the movie. So I don't know if other people have dealt with that same exact issue, but it's just something that I'm noticing. Like I was thinking like maybe I needed to shut the window and that could help it, or what I needed to do, but no, I just see my reflection. It could be maybe the film that I'm watching as well, being like darker tones. But as a whole, I'm kind of wish I wouldn't be seeing myself in the screen because it is a nice looking screen, but it's just the way it is. Also, I'll say the tray table, while it is huge, it wasn't the sturdiest. So as we were rocking a little bit, it wasn't even like large turbulence, it was just a little bit of stuff. You could feel the tray table just constantly bouncing a lot. So it seems as though like they made it bigger than, I don't know, any other business class that has a tray table this large. So it's definitely on the bigger side for a tray table. However, it's just not as sturdy as many other ones that I've seen. Like at points I was concerned that my drink might fall over or something like that. It didn't happen, so I guess that it just kind of bounces and moves with it. But the way it was kind of set up, I felt like that could have been a possibility. But honestly, these two things are minor, and I wonder if I put on a different film if it would resolve the issue for what I'm dealing with the screen. But I love the size of the screen, and when they were showing like the takeoff instructions, everything just looked so pretty. So it's definitely a nice screen for sure. Now the seat that I am in does go into lay flat mode. I might try to get myself like a half an hour, 45-minute nap as I'm on this flight. So maybe in like half an hour I will try to take a nap before we end up landing and then see how it feels in bed mode. But this is a really short flight, so I don't necessarily have to do that. I am a little tired, but at the same time we're going to be in Taipei pretty soon, so I don't feel like it's that necessary for me to do it because by the time I finish my film, it's already probably going to end up being time for us to get ready for the descent. So, but even still, I want to see how it feels. Right now, as it's in just like a seat mode, it feels great. But I mean, they gave me like a blanket and I have this pillow over here, so I'll just put it into bed mode to see how it feels. Okay, just finished up my movie. Definitely feels comfortable. This pillow's nice. Yeah, I just got tired pretty quick. I don't know if the champagne's starting to hit me a little bit or just been kind of exhausted from traveling, but not overly spacious like you would have like a first class. But definitely nice for a business class product, but I'll say that just the lay flat mode, this thing is very comfortable. There's no pad or anything on here. I just feel good. And yeah, I'm gonna crash. Okay, I just finished up my half an hour nap. They said that there's gonna be some turbulence, so I just decided to put it up when they asked us to put our things in. No one actually came to me to tell me to do it. I just heard it over the announcement, but so that woke me up. But as a whole, really comfortable. I mean, it's a short flight. This is only 4 hours, but if I needed to do this for a 10+ hour flight, this thing would be perfect. I gotta say, this is probably the best business class that I've ever experienced. The staff has just been absolutely incredible. They kept on trying to give me more champagne. Like, as I even went into lay flat mode, there was 3 different flight attendants who came by being like, would you like some more champagne? I'm like, I'm just ready to go to sleep. But they were just so kind, and like, they weren't pushy. They were just making sure that I was taken care of and that I've been feeling good. The meal, I wouldn't say is my favorite that I've had in business class, but it was good. And I think the dessert was very, very good, so I'll give it that. But just the entire setup of this thing, and being able to fly out of Narita and access the Japan Airlines business class lounge is a great add-on as well, because if I didn't get that, then obviously that wouldn't be as nice. But since they do have a partnership with Japan Airlines, then that allows for the experience to come even better. I am curious of trying out Starlux's lounge in Taipei, so hopefully at some point in the future I'll be able to do that. But when it comes to the Japan Airlines business class lounge, that may also end up being the best business class lounge that I've ever been in, just for how much space and the different things you can end up getting from it. I do know there are better business class lounges out there. Like, I've seen Qatar Airways as a massive business class lounge as well, but I haven't experienced that one yet. Hopefully soon I will be able to do that one. Even with my little critiques that I've given, this is still a 10 out of 10 product. Fantastic business class. Okay, so how did I book this? Well, I booked this with using Alaskan Airlines miles. So Alaskan Airlines is partnered with Starlux from Narita over to Taipei, and it was only 15,000 Alaskan Airlines miles. Now, I've looked recently and I've found that this has actually been harder to come by to find the award availability. I have seen Osaka be open to where if you did want to book from Japan over to Taipei, then that I've seen a lot of award availability with, so that could end up being an option if you are going on like a Japan tour and you also want to go over to Taiwan. Then you could end up looking to go fly out of Osaka instead of looking to fly out of either Haneda or Narita with Starlux. Now, say you want to fly from either LAX or San Fran over to Taipei, you could end up booking this Starlux business class for 75,000 Alaskan Airlines miles. And I've seen that if you end up looking really far in advance, they do end up opening up 2 seats. So you could end up getting lucky if you are trying to book as a couple, but typically when I end up seeing, it usually ends up being just like 1 seat available. But yeah, excellent product. I didn't get any type of amenity kit that I saw. Give me some slippers, and there's like a bag that comes with it, which looks pretty nice. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts of Starlux business class? Have you experienced it, and did you have just as great of an experience as I had? Now, if you happen to have any questions, you can drop it down in the comment section down below. Do the best I can to answer it. If you happen to really like this video, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this video, and have a beautiful rest of your day.